Bret Hart, the best there is, the best there was, the best that ever will be. A man that is always going to be known as one of the greatest wrestlers in the WWE. As everyone knows, Bret got screwed during the Montreal Screwjob on November 9th, 1997 at Survivor Series. Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels had real-life heat with each other. Bret was very upset at how his match ended, which led to Bret Hart spitting on Vince McMahon after the match ended. But what if his wrestling career ended differently, where he continued to stay in the WWF and did not go to WCW? What would have happened if he continued to stay in the WWF in 1998? This alternate timeline is about Bret Hart staying in the WWF, but not after talking to Vince McMahon in his office first. Everything during Bret's wrestling career in the early and mid-90s remains the same, except the Montreal Screwjob never happened. So what happened between Vince and Bret then? So Vince McMahon at the time wanted Bret to go to WCW because the WWF was facing financial issues and could not afford Bret the 20-year contract he'd given him. Until Bret, I've been up for 3 nights straight looking at the ledgers. When I told you to go to WCW, I was panicking. I was looking at the numbers, not the soul of this company. If you leave, if you go down south to Bischoff, it's a defeat I don't think we recover from. You're the one who told me to sign it, Vince. I wanted to be the WWF lifer. I gave up millions from WCW last year because you promised me this was my home. Now you're telling me the check is going to bounce? I'm asking you to restructure, Bret. Not because you aren't worth every dime, but because I need cash flow right now to fight this war. If you take a pay cut for the next 2 years, I will guarantee you stocks in the company. The pay cut was about 30 grand for Bret, so for 2 years it will be 60. Well, we turn this ship around, and we will turn it around. You'll be a part owner of the World Wrestling Federation. It's not just the money, Vince. It's about respect. You're handing the keys to the castle to Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold. Shawn looks at me in the eye and tells me he won't do business with me. You're letting the inmates run the asylum, and you're asking me to take a pay cut to watch it happen? Shawn is a phenom, but he's volatile. Steve is a rocket ship, but he's an anti-hero. But you are the moral compass. I need that contrast. If everyone is a degenerate, the show doesn't work. This is getting ridiculous, Vince, and you know it. Look, you don't have to like Shawn. You don't have to invite him to dinner. But I need you to trust me. I will personally guarantee you creative protection. We do this right, you drop the belt to Steve at WrestleMania. Not Shawn, Steve. The passing of the torch. Bret stares at Vince for a long time, agonizing minutes. He thinks his legacy, his father's stew. He realized he'd rather fight in the trenches with Vince than be a tool for Eric Bischoff. Modify the contract. But Shawn stays away from me, and I have the final say on how the Hart Foundation is handled. We do it my way, or I walk. Done.